Hello, everyone. I'm Aaron, and I'm here alone because reasons. No, the real reason is because Johnny did a lot of the work on the last one, and since these due dates were so close back to back, we decided to work on each one individually, and we'd share each other our things. And so I was able to jump in and give him some help now, but whenever I'm recording, he's actually not here. So, yeah, today we're going to be going over the three-sum algorithm and the homework assignment that was due tonight, actually, which we're really sorry we're getting it out so late, but with him assigning a lot of homework assignments very rapidly and due on the same day, it makes it very hard. Which, by the way, we probably won't be able to get array out today. We're going to hopefully try to get it at some point in the future, come back to it and hit that. But basically, your timing, as far as I know, you're timing things, and so I'll be showing you how to do the timing part in my program. But anyways, for this assignment, you're going to need two main files. Threesome, which is going to be your source code, which you'll submit in any language. And then your time testing. That can be done as a comment, as a separate file submission, or whatever. I'm going to go ahead and do mine in Microsoft Excel because I'm a nerd. So I'll go ahead, we'll open up Visual Studio. And it looks like a lot, and it's really not because it's only 56 lines, and most of it was given to you. So, we will start at the very beginning with these two. Import java.util.scanner and import java.util.random. The random one is very important whenever you're going to be doing your testing. The scanner one is not. Scanner is used if you want to make this like to be able to use later on. You can use it like that, but I hard-coded all of my values that I was going to use for my index, which will make a lot more sense whenever I show you the code. But I hard-coded all of that just to make my testing easier and more consistent. So we're going to go right into the class of threesum. The first thing that I did was I declared a global array. I did this because I wanted to have my array creation in its own separate actual function, so I knew if there was a problem with what was actually inside of the array, I knew it was in that function. It wasn't going to be in my main. So it just made it a little bit easier for, like, I guess you could say unit testing or chunk testing. So I decided to go ahead and do that. So the first thing that you see here is the long time equals system.current time millis. So if you remember, the long data type is basically a way to store something that's over the amount of a integer that can store. So as you can guess, this is going to be a very big number. System.current time millis, the function actually gives you the amount of time, I guess, that your computer's been running. I don't exactly know how it works, but I know that it's something like that. It's like it's either how long your computer's been running or the time currently in milliseconds. And so we obviously don't want all of that, which you'll see later on we change it. But we want to make that equal to our time, because that'll be our start time, and at the very end we'll subtract it from our final time. We're going to declare count an integer, and we're going to set that equal to 0 because he has that down here, and he doesn't actually give us that part in the code. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we're going to call int index, and we're going to make that equal to create array. And that sounds very weird, but it's not returning an array. Nope, don't do that. We want to go to this. Yes. It is returning the actual index of the array, and that sounds absolutely bizarre, but I just want to get my entire creation part in one function. So, scanner.sc equals new scanner system.in. This part you don't have to do because if you end up hard coding it, your index, which is going to give you more consistent time, so I would really recommend doing that. Rand equals new random. Basically, what that constructor is doing is it's creating a random number generator. And you have to instantiate it as an object with its constructor, or else you won't be able to actually use the random function. The reason why we need to use a random function is because I talked with him after class one day, and I showed him my create array thing. And basically all I did was, okay, you want 40, you want an index of 40? Okay. Take 40 and divide that by 2. And multiply that by -1, and that's where you'll start entering in things. So if you had 40, my old program would start at -20 and count up -19 all the way up to 20. And so the index would still be 40, but there was another enter in variable. But this works as well. So we're going to declare our integer array. We'll have, as you can see, we declared it up here, but it has a generalized length. Like, it's not specified yet. Down here is where we actually end up specifying it. So we go ahead and do that, and then we start our for loop. Normal counter using I, and then we go into this. Integer array at position I is going to equal rand.nextInt20. The way that the next integer function functions is that it will actually go from, it's bounded from 0 to whatever you put in there. So I put 20 in there, so its upper bound is 20. The problem is that doesn't give us any negative numbers. And whenever you look up here at line 21, if you notice, if we don't have any negative numbers, we're never going to equal 0. So that if statement will never run. So we have to have negative numbers. How are we going to do that? Well, I decided that it would be reasonable to have an equal amount of of positive and negative integers. So I did the test if I divided by 2 is equal to 0. So basically, if it's an even number, we want to take the integer array at position I and multiply it by -1. That gives us the ability to say, okay, I need to have a negative integer every other time. So that really changes our random bound from 0 to 20 to -20 to 20. So it's giving us actually a bigger sample size as well. By the way, that integer right there can be a bigger number or it can be a smaller number based on whatever you want to do. It doesn't really matter, but for my taste, I just did 20 because I felt like it. sc.close if you actually use scanner for this, and then I return the index. Reason why I return the index is because I need it for these for statements. This first for statement is iterating through the entire line or the entire array once. And let's say our array has an index of 20. Okay, so that's going to go 20 times. This one with int j is going to go 20 times for every time that we have a top 20. So that's 20 squared times that it'll be running. We're going to do for int k. And that's a problem because that really ends up being 20 cubed. And that's an insane amount of numbers. And I don't want to think about that. But that's essentially what our computer's doing, is it's iterating through every single number a lot more than 3 times. But it's doing it a lot. This if statement, if I is less than j and j is less than k, basically what it does is that if we say we have an array of -20, 0, and 20, okay, those 3 numbers add up to be 0. At some point, we're going to get 20, 0, -20. Well, we've already had the reverse of that. And because of the way that addition and subtraction works, you can add any numbers in any order and it will still equal the same amount. So for that, we really don't want to increase our count. Maeve is responding to, I sent her a message saying that I've already recorded this once actually, and the volume was not actually working, like, at all. So I'm recording it again. Woohoo. Yeah. So, congratulations. I'm happy you guys figured it out. I should turn on focus assist. There we go. So, it's going to do that, and it's going to increase the count. Once it increases count, that's pretty much it. It'll bottom out once it's through everything. So this is just a formatting print statement. There are a certain amount of matches to a threesome. Do that. Just a little break thing, and then our time. So our time is going to equal the current system time, which is what I'm going to say it is, minus our starting system time, which that difference will give us the amount of time that the program ran. So then we get time, like, and then another break. So that's that. And now I'm going to go on and actually show you my data sheet. So if we look at this Excel spreadsheet, because I'm a nerd, yeah, you will see that the numbers get very big as you progress, and it sucks. But I tried running test case number 14, and it literally killed itself. Like, it typed kill for itself. So, beware. But at least for these test cases, this is what I ended up getting. So what you're going to want to record is the amount given. So, like, that's going to be the index. The time it took, which is going to be the time variable. And this is the reason why I did it in Excel. You can type in the formula, which is T of 2n, which is always going to be the test case above it, because we're doubling every time, divided by the time at n, which is always going to be the time above it. So you do that, you can set it to go all the way down, and it will automatically calculate these things for you, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, in case you were wondering about, like, times and stuff, this is kind of what it looks like. It's pretty interesting. As you can see, once we go above 128, we really start growing really rapidly. And that's, don't worry about those. Those aren't actual things. So that's about what our graph is at. And that's pretty much all I have. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything, feel free to email us. Our emails is in the in card. I would recommend emailing me just because I'm out for all my classes today. So if you're watching this the day of and you need help with your homework, I'd be happy to come and meet with you because Johnny has a lot of classes to do still. So yeah, feel free to leave us any comments, and I really hope that you guys enjoy your day.